SOULRYEDERS is a volunteer-driven local organization committed to empowering individuals in our community who are affected by any type of cancer. From diagnosis through treatment, recovery, and survivorship, we offer practical resources and nurturing support services that provide dignity, confidence, hope, and compassion. We started in 2007 as a small team of women doing the 39-mile Avon Walk for Breast Cancer, and have grown to become our own organization with 7 different support programs, 4 fitness-based fundraisers, and 2 community-driven awareness events each year. Our secondary mission is to engage volunteers of all ages and backgrounds in meaningful community service so that they can experience firsthand how giving back connects us all and helps provide the support our community needs. We'd like to introduce you to a few of the people we've helped along the way so that you can see how we make a difference.
I was diagnosed with cancer in 2016, shortly after my 34th birthday. I moved to New York in the August of 2016. I was here for 2 weeks, and I went down for a routine visit in Pennsylvania with my doctor. That's when she noticed that I had a lump, and a week after that I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. And since I was new here to New York, I wanted to reach out to a community and feel that I had some support. And that's when I was put in touch with SOULRYEDERS. Being diagnosed in your 30s can be different, and so I wanted to be able to reach out to some people that were my age with breast cancer, and SOULRYEDERS did exactly that for me.
I went to a routine checkup, and my gynecologist found a mass, and he wanted to look into it further. I didn't realize the severity of it. It was a stage 3 gynecological cancer, both ovarian and uterine. And it was around the time that I was getting ready to move and plan a wedding. And by the time I went to my doctor, I was in surgery about a week later.
I was diagnosed with cancer in June of 2015. I had surgery at one hospital that did not necessarily go that well. I had a very hard time with my diagnosis and couldn't even speak the words breast cancer until a friend made me one day tell her. And she said, "I'm involved with the SOULRYEDERS, don't you know?" And I said, "No." She said, "You will have help, you will have support." And she had some of the SOULRYDER women call me. I got advice on, I was looking for a new doctor.
When I reached out to SOULRYEDERS, I was so appreciative that it wasn't just breast cancer, it was for men and women and any type of cancer.
So in preparing for surgery, it was great that SOULRYEDERS was able to connect me with another person who had already gone through it, and they were able to walk me through the steps. There are things that your doctors will prepare you for in terms of symptoms and side effects, but they also aren't able to always explain the emotional effects that go on. And it was nice to be able to relate to someone and have that opportunity to kind of let out some of that anxiety and hear a personal experience with someone.
Being a client coordinator with the Wig Exchange means finding out about a person who was just recently diagnosed or had a reoccurrence with breast cancer. So a phone call is made, and you develop a bond with a person from the moment that you speak to them on the phone, and then meeting them in person and fitting them for a wig is a whole process. Again, can bring some normalcy back into their lives. When you find the perfect wig for an individual and give them the sense that everything's going to be okay and you're going to look like yourself, it brings them such a sense of calmness and such a relaxing moment for them, when they feel like, okay, I can get through this, this is going to be okay. And a lot of these women I'm still in touch with today.
They invited me to a first Monday at the beauty bar salon. And I went the week before my first chemo. And I walked in, I didn't know what to expect, and 3 women just walked up and hugged me. I cannot tell you, I started crying. I had not released anything before that. So I just owe so much to SOULRYEDERS.
I was brought to the Wig Exchange through a friend of mine who had been diagnosed and gone through treatment. and borrowed a wig through the organization. I remember she brought me shortly before I cut my hair off before the beginning of chemotherapy. I remember walking in and being absolutely floored to be in a room surrounded by people who had gone through the same experience I had and were firmly on the other side. It just had not occurred to me before that time that I could survive my diagnosis. And I remember how empowering and how touched I was to be in a room with these women who had all walked the same walk that I had, who had all been through very similar experiences and had the same fears and concerns. And just sitting down with them and having them help me try on wigs before my hair fell out, and they knew exactly where I was and what I was going through, was so comforting to me.
When I walked into Soul Riders, I was just embraced by these, what I call them, angels on earth. They were just so kind and empathetic and truly made me feel like their friend once I met them. I walked in and I saw women like myself who hadn't started treatment. Then I moved further back into the salon and saw women with no hair. Then I moved further back in the salon and I saw women trying on wigs. And then I met women who are now volunteers at Soul Riders who had just finished their treatment or were 5 years out, and I call it like they're happily ever after. So after that experience at Soul Riders, I said, I am gonna get through this. I am gonna be smiling during treatment because these women are smiling. They taught me how to put on my eyebrows. They fitted me for a beautiful wig. And walking out of there was just an absolute inspiration.
When I tried on the wigs, it was a very surreal experience. It was almost like I was playing dress up. I don't think the enormity of the whole situation had really hit home. The ladies from the wig exchange gave me such helpful advice and knew more or less how to guide me on how to select a wig for myself and what would suit me and my lifestyle. And that was so important because I truly had no idea what was right for me, what was even going on at the time. They also pointed me in the direction of other places where I could send my hair after it had been cut to have a piece made with my own hair, which truly brought me such comfort when I was sick and when my hair did fall out. Going into it, I did not think that losing my hair was going to be as devastating as it really was. I remember thinking to myself, if I'm healthy and the treatment works, my hair doesn't matter. And yet somehow, when it came out, when it fell out, when I cut it off before the rest of it fell out, it was so devastating and so emotional. It just really hit home. And knowing that I had a wig ready and waiting for me with the love and support of all these people behind the wig was so important to me and helped me through a very difficult process.
Soul Riders has Soul Strong, which is a series of workshops that help survivors kind of come back into the world and kind of reacclimate themselves after such trauma that they went through during treatment. The Soul Strong programs have really given me the strength and really gave me other women to relate to and find support in, and really helped me to get back to who I am again.
So the Soul Strong program and actually the Y4C classes also build a community. These women feel so comfortable with each other, and I walk into the class, whether it be a Soul Strong workshop or a yoga class, and they're all engaging with each other, they're hugging each other, they're introducing, they're embracing new people that come into the program, and it just brings joy and passion to my heart to see these women truly love each other.
I was 9 years old when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. When my mom was going through cancer, we helped her pick out a wig, and that was really fun because we were like, oh, this looks good on you, this doesn't. And it was just a fun time because after she lost all her hair, it was just good because she got a wig, and Soul Riders did that for us, which we're really thankful for. I really got involved with Soul Riders because my mom had breast cancer, and I feel like I had the urge to help others. It feels really nice to help out with other families, by doing Soul Riders, because it just puts like a really warm feeling in those people's hearts and my heart. Soul Riders helped me get through it much better than I expected.
Well, I remember she had to go into the city for her treatments. So my parents would both go into the city, and one of our aunts would come and watch us for the weekend. When my mom was going through cancer treatment, I was so proud of her because she's like a survivor, and she went through it really well. People from Soul Riders provided my family with meals, and a lot of people from Soul Riders would come over and support my mom.
When my mom had breast cancer, I cuddled with her and I hugged her a lot.
When my mom got better, I wanted to help other people because they were going through a time that my mom went through. So I started doing the Westchester Triathlon. It makes me feel like being a part of Soul Riders, it's like I've done something good for someone else, and it's sort of just like my way of giving back.
Sometimes after I apply makeup, just a slight amount of makeup, eyelashes, eyebrows to women to make them feel normal again, I give them the mirror and they feel completely different and changed and normal, and they have this glow and they start tearing up. And I actually love that moment because for me, and I start tearing up most times as well, it touches my heart because I know I've done something for them, I've made a difference, and I've helped them feel better.
Soul Riders has always empowered me, made me feel good about myself, and helped me continue to be strong.
Soul Riders has inspired me and empowered me to have the strength I have today to continue my fight with breast cancer.
Soul Riders showed me that there is a life beyond cancer and gave me hope.
Soul Riders truly made me believe that I was going to get through this. I'm not alone, and I want to help other women going through probably the lowest time of their lives and get to, like me, the happily ever after. I live in Long Island, a good hour, hour and a half from here, and let me tell you, I would have traveled 10 hours to meet Soul Riders, because that's how much they helped me.
For more information about Soul Riders, please visit our website at soulriders.org.